morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the Let's Go Crunch podcast. I am Ethan Greenberg. We are a part of the Land Media Group, thanks to Mike Wilkes, who is the man behind the scenes. Unfortunately, Andrew Hagenbaugh, Drew, is unable to be with us here this evening. A little bit under the weather. The illnesses are going around. We didn't think we'd want to have any mid-show interruptions, so we're just going to wing it here a little bit. Once again, thank you very much for joining us all. The Let's Go Crunch podcast, again, part of the Land Media Group. We are going to have a very special guest tonight. The Cleveland Crunch, they have been off since before the start of the new year, before the holiday season, and they will return to the Wolstein Center on Friday night, Saturday night, January the 10th, to take on the Chicago Mustangs. They're going to be back at the Wolstein Center. So lots of fun stuff going on. Later on here in the show, we are going to be announcing a winner of a random drawing. All of those people who were so kind as to follow the Facebook group page and answer the question as to who is this legendary Cleveland indoor soccer player. So we'll be doing a random drawing at the end, toward the end of the show. So please stay along with us for the program. And with that in mind, would like to announce and welcome in our guest this evening. Our guest is Andriana Ruscitto, the Director of Marketing and Public Relations for the Cleveland Crunch. Not only is she the Director of Marketing and Public Relations for the Crunch, Director of Communications for the MLIS, a graduate of fellow Kent State University Golden Flash, and we're going to talk a little bit later about her marketing agency, RK Collective LLC. And with that, would like to welcome in our guest, Andriana Ruscitto.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. Thank you for being with us on this Sunday evening. Andy, how are you? How were your holidays?
They were good. Yeah, everything was good. It was a little bit cold, so I actually got to get away and go to St. Pete, Florida for a little bit. So that was really nice. But yeah, all is good. I feel like the holidays always line up at like the worst time because it's always like go time, for the Crunch right after we come back from the break. So it was nice. And yeah, we enjoyed our time down there. So how was yours? Was everything good?
Absolutely. It was fantastic. Thank you very much for asking. My in-laws are in Wilmington, North Carolina. So we travel there. And the only bad thing was it's kind of crazy. Apparently, the pine population down there is very dense, and my wife, who grew up there, is allergic to pine.
Oh,
wow. So her allergies kicked in terribly, and we kind of we shortened up the trip a little bit to get back to town last weekend a day early because it was not fun. And so here we are. We are home. We were back in town and just chilling, living life here. And that's okay. And Mike from the UK, the Cavs ruined your Christmas day. Don't hide it. Yes, it did. They did ruin it, but that's okay because we're going to be talking about a winning team here this evening as we talk to Andy. So, Andy, you have been with the Crunch since 2020. I mean, talk to us a little bit about your experience with the Crunch and how you are, developed into this role.
Yeah, so I think, when I first started, I was still in college, and I guess I could, start from the beginning, but I kind of remember like the day like it was yesterday. I came home from college and I was visiting for the weekend, and I remember my brother and my dad were in the kitchen and they were talking about the Cleveland Crunch. This was in 2020. And, my brother Luciano was just so excited about the idea and about bringing it back. And, he was so lively about it. And I remember, being in the kitchen and just thinking to myself, yeah, like whatever, just like I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like I'm in college, like I'm not really worried about this right now. And then honestly, immediately, it just kind of became like a part of our everyday lives. I would say in the beginning, I was a little bit more of a distant involvement just because I was so busy with school and graduating and finding a job and, all that good stuff. But now present day, I feel like it's really grown into something that we couldn't even imagine. So, I have taken on more of a very big role in the organization, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So going from that day in 2020 to now being in 2026 is just a crazy thought. but we've definitely grown, and especially as a family, as an organization. And I feel like we have a lot of great people in different seats now, and we really have a good flow going of where we are and where we want to be. So I credit that all to, my brother for obviously coming coming with us and starting it, and now being able to have me be a part of it has been a really big blessing. So yeah, so things have been good.
And as folks, if you are listening and you didn't know, so Andy, Luciano, your brother, and Luciano, your dad, is that, am I getting that correct?
Yeah,
They're both
yeah. So
Luciano, but
mhm,
they are the owners,
yeah. Mhm.
of the Cleveland Crunch, along with our friend Ryan Ruiz, also part of that group.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep. Sorry.
no, 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 that's okay. I wanted to make sure I was stating things correctly, wasn't stating anything wrong there. Um, were you familiar with the prior iteration of the Cleveland Crunch at all? Them playing at the Wolstein Center. Did you know about the Cleveland Force? What was your kind of knowledge about indoor soccer and the city of Cleveland?
Yeah, so my knowledge was very little, I would say. Like I said, going back to, my brother being in the kitchen and him being so excited about it, a lot of that knowledge was coming from the prior iterations of the Cleveland Crunch and the Cleveland Force, and how he used to be at those games and how excited he was, and how he just felt like we needed indoor soccer back downtown to give those same experiences to kids these days as he had. So that was like a lot of the sentiment that he had going into it. I, didn't really share that same sentiment, because in the beginning, we are 5 years apart. So, I was born in '98, so I wasn't really, at those games, and I don't remember much. I was probably like 3 or 4 years old, so I wasn't there, but my brother was, and he has some really good memories, and I think I've been able to like live those kind of through him, like through the experiences that he talks about, and through the experiences that our fans talk about as well. I mean, I see fans comment stuff all the time. I remember this and I remember that, and it kind of brings me there, even though I wasn't there. So that's as much as I know, but I do know, obviously, like all the respects to the other players that were there before us, and some of the greatest players, and I know I'm well aware of all of that. So yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I kind of find that even talking with kids, my own kids, my son, he is 15 and a half, my daughter is 12 and a half, but I'll talk to her about, and the kids about, oh yeah, we went to this, we come to Ohio and we visit, and I say, oh well, we went to the Browns game, we went here. I don't remember that. I'm like, here's a picture, and then of course, she's like, I don't. Oh, you don't need to pull a picture. You don't need to pull up a picture. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? And I'm showing you this is where we were. So no, I get it. When you're younger, you don't remember all those things. I mean, I can vaguely recall going to the Richfield Coliseum for the indoor soccer games. I'm sure that I probably saw both the Force and the Crunch there, but spent a lot of time. Grew up in Canton, going to check out the Canton Invaders down at the Canton Civic Center,
Yeah.
and certainly a fan of both. Both the Cleveland and the Canton, absolutely. And remember being at the Combo Center for, I believe, two of the championships
Oh, nice.
that the Crunch won, and then as you can see behind me, was fortunate enough to win a Hector Marinero jersey, a randomly selected. If you're in this seat, you are going to get to go down on the field for a jersey, and
You got it. That's
got
cool.
so
Yeah.
that was amazing. And then later in life, kind of the random connections, or maybe it's actually before then. I at Kent State, as I mentioned, we're fellow Golden Flash alum, covered the women's soccer team for the Daily Kent Staters. So
Nice.
got to know Rob. Rob is Rob Marinero, former Cleveland Crunch player, Cleveland Force.
Mhm.
He's a great guy, just great guy. So that was awesome. Now, did you play in any sports or participate in sports as you were growing up?
Yeah, so I wasn't a soccer player. I played soccer a little bit, like for a couple years, and honestly, it was not my thing, which is so funny that I'm so, which is so funny that I'm so involved in soccer now. But everyone asks me that, like, were you a soccer player growing up? No, I was not. I actually did not enjoy it at all, which is just so funny. But I did play basketball and softball. So those were my two sports, throughout grade school and high school. And I enjoyed those a lot. But yeah, present day, soccer was definitely, my brother and my dad's thing. They were heavily involved in like the soccer scene and they loved the sport. But I will say like indoor is so much fun to like watch and be a part of. And when I was introduced to the indoor game and like seeing it and watching it, I was like, wow, I actually really enjoy this. So whether it's for me to play or not, I think it's more for me to watch, but I do enjoy, watching it. So obviously, so
Right. I mean, you have an appreciation of it, and
yeah,
that's kind of the most important thing. These people, these people who are out there playing, they're athletes. It takes a lot of skill.
yeah,
I couldn't do it, even in my more physically fit days. I don't. That's just not me. I didn't get the endurance gene in me there. What have you seen in terms of the growth of the Crunch franchise and the MLS as a whole?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, with the crunch, we were really thinking of ways how can we make this into something that draws attention, draws traction, and people actually want to be there. I think that's the most important thing. Like it's not just the Cleveland Crunch, it's an experience and it's something that we want people to actually come to and be at and enjoy and we want them to come back, right? And I think over the first couple years we've seen that we've seen people want to come back. We have a lot of the same fans, a lot of the same people who are coming to the games, and that's great and that's awesome. And I think now with our move to downtown and being at the Wolstein Center, our next primary goal is having new people. Obviously, we have our returners, we have our fans who have supported us at our smaller venue throughout the last couple years, and we're very appreciative for that group of people. And now we're looking to be in a bigger venue, but welcoming new people that still don't know about us in our sixth year. And I'm hoping that being downtown brings more eyes to us, and I think it will. I think, we've heard a lot over even the past couple of weeks. I had no idea we had a soccer team. I had no idea you guys were back downtown, and we're going to hear that, and we're going to continue to hear that. And I think that that's totally normal, because we are still a growing brand. I think with the league, the good thing is we've been able to grow alongside them, especially in their, inaugural seasons. And we're happy to be a part of the league. It is a growing league. I think with any growing league and organization, there's always going to be things that go wrong, go right. Nothing's ever going to be straightforward. So, we're here for the ride. I think the league has shown a lot of growth. I mean, you see that we've welcomed, several teams this year. The women's league was launched 2 years, about 2 years ago now, and they're welcome, I think about 8 teams. So, things are looking forward, and I think as the league continues to grow, we'll continue to grow and progress forward. So, yeah, we're happy with where we're at.
Well, look at this. Mike from over in the UK. He is a big Cleveland fan. He's
Uh,
looking to try and, if he times it right, to get to a game. That would be amazing.
that'd be great.
Fans everywhere. And that kind of just blows my mind to think that there are people in Cleveland who didn't know about the Crunch, the current iteration. It just seems like it needs to be, um, you know, I wish there was more publicity out there for them. I wish that more people, but that's what we're here for. We are
Exactly.
here to
Yeah.
spread the message and let everybody know it's a fun time. It's a good time. Um, I mean, just how nice is it, or for the Crunch to be in a larger venue, to now be downtown at at the Wolstein Center, as opposed to a smaller venue, which many of the teams in the league are playing in. You now have a great opportunity, where fans can really experience a lot. And we're putting up here on the screen about getting tickets. There are tickets available for the opener coming up on Saturday night, and in general, 2 games. But yeah, just talk to us a little bit about just what playing in the larger venue is going to allow you to do, aside from, as you said, drawing in some new fans who maybe didn't previously go to the smaller venue.
Yeah, I think, we have a lot of opportunity being in a bigger venue because we can now welcome things that we couldn't welcome before, like maybe, in between breaks, like different experiences in between breaks or different halftime things. Like there's a lot we can do that we couldn't do before due to the size of the venue. Obviously, one thing is like fan comfortability. I know a lot of our fans at the Soccer Sportsplex, they were packed in there, and I know that it was hard if you showed up late, to get a seat. Now fans can come comfortably, they can have a seat, they can show up when they want, their seats guaranteed. And I think honestly that's like the biggest thing from me, because obviously we want all of our fans to have a good experience. That's like the number one thing. We're always thinking about how can our fans have a good experience. In the last 6 years, we kind of were struggling a little bit because we were limited on space and we were selling out, and we're like, well, how do we allow all these fans to come but also make sure that they have a seat? And it always didn't go well. And that was just the nature of the game. But now, that's not a worry. And I think that's like that's so important. Fans can be comfortable, they can enjoy. And we have some other things up our sleeve that are going to be kind of exciting. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, well, definitely stay tuned. Now, we do have a question here. Love the comments. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in, commenting as we are live. The question, when's the women's team coming?
Yeah, we've gotten that question quite a lot. I don't know. I would love to have a women's team. I think it's so important to shed light on women's soccer. I just think right now we need to focus on one thing at a time. Being a small organization and being, we all, like we have full-time jobs. Like we're all trying to manage so much at once. And I think focusing on our move to downtown, making that successful is number one priority. Once we can go from there, we can start branching out into other areas. But I think if we take on too much at once, I don't want anything to be oversighted. So that's what's important.
Right. Yeah. And you guys you want to do it correctly. You don't want to
Yeah.
do it half-assed, to put it bluntly.
Exactly. Yeah. If we're going to have a women's team, it's going to be done well, and it's going to have the same attention that the Crunch has. And until we're at that point where we feel fully confident that we can support a women's team like we support a men's team, then I don't think it's the right decision. But it's not to say that it's not in the future.
Right. And what types of things, or I guess let me back up here a step. The fact that the Crunch is going to be able to play in a larger venue, is that something that other teams around the league are looking to try to accomplish?
Yeah, I think that's always the goal, right? I mean, the goal is always to be at a larger venue one day. I will say this type of stuff does not happen overnight. I mean, it takes a while to get there, just as much as the league is growing. A lot of the teams are new and growing as well. And I look at where we were 5 years ago, and it took us 5 years to get into this large venue. I'm not saying that's the case for all of the teams. It depends on where they're at, what's available to them, what arenas are available. It all is dependent on what's in their market, what's available. Can they get a bigger venue? Like, things take time, but I think obviously that's ultimately the goal for all the teams in the league, to eventually be in a bigger venue. In like an arena like Amarillo and ourselves. So.
Right. As we sit here and we chat again, folks, remember the home opener is coming up on Saturday night, January the 10th. What kind of surprises might they be looking forward to on Saturday night?
Well, we have like a special guest appearance. I'm not going to give anything away, because if I say too much, it will give it away. But it's something. What I will say is it's a blast from the past. I'll say that. If you guys want to harp on that, but yeah, so that'll be exciting. And then we're implementing some other things that the old iteration used to do, like the disc toss. I'm not sure if you remember that. So we'll have a disc toss sponsored by Duncan Toys of Cleveland. So that'll be fun to do. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that at halftime or where we're doing that throughout the match. So that'll be exciting. Then obviously at the merch table, we have new jerseys that we launched this year, and some new styles. So those are going to be all available. And since it is, Return of the Crunch downtown, we're going to be doing a discount on all retro merch throughout the night. So that'll be really nice. And then something else that's really exciting that we've never done before is we're doing a blue card giveaway. So, this is Corbin, who we work with, had this great idea, but blue cards are thrown up throughout the match, and we thought it would be fun to have fans to be able to have their own. So now fans will get one at the door, and they'll be able to hold up a blue card throughout the match. So that'll be cool.
As long as you promise not to change the turf to blue, we're in good. We'll be in good standing because
Yeah.
I watched a game last night, in another indoor league, and I was about blinded by the blue
No,
playing.
we will. We're stuck with the turf we have. So
Well, you are not stuck with it. You are blessed with it.
yeah,
Come on now. Let's take the
yeah.
glasses half full look at it here. So we talked a bit about the number of media outlets, ways to get out there. How important is just the growth of soccer in general in Cleveland with the women's professional soccer team and the MLS Next team, the Cleveland Pro Soccer Group? How is that helping um, your processes?
Yeah, the people over at Cleveland Pro Soccer have been really amazing to us. And I think it's become more than just a partnership where we really lean on each other, which I think is super important, because we both have the same goal, right? Like they want to shed light on outdoor soccer and professional soccer downtown, and we want to shed light on indoor soccer and professional soccer downtown. Like that's what we both want to do. So sharing those same sentiments and goals has been really great. And, we've been able to work with other teams, in the USL, like Akron, and now Lorraine has a new team and obviously
Right.
Cleveland SC. So I think, the more that we all work together, the better. I think there's a lot of opportunities for us as a whole to be able to come together and like really shed light on soccer and like the amazing players and talent that we have here. So I've always said that I think there's so much opportunity for soccer in Cleveland, and I stand by that. And I'll stand by that forever. So
I agree. Cleveland is a great sports town. Let's not lie
yeah.
about it. It really is. Because the fact of the matter is, despite how bad some of our teams have been
Hmm.
historically and on
Yeah.
a regular basis,
Yeah.
we keep coming back.
Yeah. The fans.
We are a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, yeah. I think the fans come back, and I will say, I think what has helped us is that, in the beginning, like we obviously have great players, we have a great talent pool, and without the team, we have like without the team, we are not the crunch. So I obviously pay respects to a lot of the players because they're so good, and we've been able to put a winning product on the field. Obviously that makes people want to come back more, but in the back of my mind I'm like, well, at least Cleveland is diehard, so if we didn't have that good of a team, they would probably still come. So
I think they will. I
yeah.
think they will. If you put on a good product and it's good effort, it's good value, people will come. Will dancing guy be there? Will dance in an homage to the prior iteration of the Crunch. He was a fan in the stands, sat near the end, and would constantly, be dancing after goals. Every time they'd go and show a news highlight, he'd be doing the weird little dance. Do you know who this is? Have you looked at the films? I don't know his name, but
I'm not sure if he'll be there, maybe, but I'm not
he has
exactly.
to be. You have to have him there. It's imperative
Okay,
that
I'll make some phone calls and see what we can do, but yeah.
oh boy, I jest, I joke, of course. So let's see. Yeah, winning history throughout all the different leagues they've been in since they've started. Yeah, absolutely. They were deep into the playoffs as the Cleveland Force in the
Hmm.
early days, and they had great crowds at the Richfield Coliseum. And then when it became the Crunch, and it's flowed right on through. So that has been amazing. Uh, so as we talked about a little bit earlier, you are a fellow Kent State Golden Flash.
Hmm.
Always like to chat it up for a moment here about the good times in Kent, Ohio.
Hmm.
All right, and I'm just gonna go straight to it. Favorite watering hole in Kent?
Oh, I don't know. What is yours? I didn't even.
I gotta say, Rays is just a favorite, of course.
Yeah, I feel like Ray's is like I honestly Loft, I would say.
The
Yeah.
loft, the
Yeah.
loft pizza was the best on. I think they had the Tuesday night
Yeah.
specials. Granted, this was in the very late '90s and around
Yeah.
2000. It was like 4.25 for a large pizza. That
Yeah.
you couldn't beat it.
I mean, honestly, that's a hard question because anyone that's been there or like goes to school there knows how fun all of them are. That's why I'm like, when people ask, I'm like, honestly, I don't know because I genuinely like all of them. But if I had to choose, I would say probably Loft.
Okay, I see a lot of ads on my social media for taco tantos.
Yeah. Okay. I don't even know. I don't even think. I didn't frequent there often,
I,
so
I didn't either, but I see lots of ads for it. I also enjoyed Mike's Place. Hard to
yeah.
go wrong with
Well,
Mike's Place.
that's a staple for sure. But I feel like, in like downtown, because Mike's Place is a little bit farther away. But yeah, Loft, Ray's definitely, Water Street. Like
Yes,
you can't
yes.
beat them. So yeah, you can't beat that downtown area.
And they definitely upgraded the student center after I left. We had Mama Lardo's pizza, or we said as Mama Lardass pizza. But they had Mark Pie chicken. That was excellent. Little Mark
Yeah.
Pies. That was very good. No, the offerings are far better than they were when I was there. And then of course, if you go just down the street, yes, to Mike's Place, you go to a little Rockneys. I
Mhm.
saw ESPN Cleveland's Gerard Cherry was there eating a Terminator on the recommendation of somebody. Taking my kids there, and it's definitely a favorite.
Yeah.
Beyond what you're doing with the Crunch, the MLIS, we mentioned this earlier. You have your own business,
Yeah.
RK Collective LLC. Can you tell us a little bit about your business?
Yeah, so it's a boutique marketing agency. So, I work with several different clients throughout like the entertainment, cannabis and sports industries, and obviously and service industries as well. Doing kind of exactly what I do for the Crunch. A lot of like social marketing, communication support, brand support, things like that. So I started it in February. After getting laid off, I decided to kind of take this venture and just jump right into it. And I'm really happy I did. It's honestly been so rewarding, and I've been able to connect with so many amazing people in different industries, and it's been really good. So that's kind of the gist of it. It's small, it's myself, and then maybe a few others that I bring on to help. But yeah, it's been really great, and the industries that we've been able to tap into have been really awesome. So
Well, that is fantastic. That is fantastic, folks. Be sure to check out Andy's business,
thank
rkcollectivellc.com. I'm sure she does a wonderful job there. I'm looking at the website right now. It's fantastic.
thank you.
No, it is very good. Honestly, I mean, I'm not trying to be joking or whatever it is. No, it is very good, and you're certainly doing an excellent job with the Crunch and the MLIS. So again, folks, the Crunch will be in action. Their home opener coming up on Saturday,
Mhm.
January the 10th, against the Chicago Mustangs, 7 p.m. And I think at this time, we should go ahead and do our random drawing to folks who were so kind as to check out all of our social media. And they went on to our Facebook group and they answered the question. They identified this picture, the one, the only, Ali Kazamani. I
Mhm.
mean, so many legends, and really appreciate everybody's feedback, everybody getting on the site and filling it out and answering the question correctly. So, folks, for you who are watching at home, I have my Chomps hat. I have names, all the names who answered it correctly. They are in this hat. I am going to randomly reach in here and I'm going to pull out a name, and the name that I pull out will be the winner of 2 tickets to the home opener. And we will be in contact with you. Someone from the Land Media Group, Let's Go Crunch podcast, will be in contact to get the information necessary to get you set up with those tickets. And here we go. The name which I have pulled is Eric McCafferty. Eric McCafferty, if you are there, you are the winner of 2 tickets to the Cleveland Crunch home opener on Saturday night, January the 10th. Someone from the Let's Go Crunch podcast, we will be in contact with you. We will get all the information necessary to make sure that you are able to be downtown for the home opener as the Crunch take on the Chicago Mustangs. So, Andy, anything else that you'd like to tell us about, or like to let everybody know about this evening?
Yeah, no, I just think that we're super excited for Saturday, and the support from everyone just means a lot to us. And, the fact that people want to come to the games and, come back it really means a lot to all of us at the front office, that we've had a lot of like returning fans. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, and that we're really, really excited. So I hope that everyone's as excited as we are.
Absolutely. And I, unfortunately, I'm about 450 to 500 miles away. Wish I was a little bit closer, but definitely if I'm in town and there is a game, I will plan to be there. And oh, this is fantastic, Mike, or sorry, Drew, who's the co-host here. Drew, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. We're going to get past the flu. Drew will be in attendance at the game, so you'll get to know Drew. So anyway, again, thank you so much, Andy, for being with us. Folks, everybody, this is the one, the only Andriana Ruscitto. She is with the Crunch, the MLIS, also the RK Collective LLC, her business. Want to thank our man behind the scenes, Mike Wilkes, as part of the Land Media Group. And that's going to do it here for this evening's show. Once again, for Andriana Ruscitto, I'm Ethan Greenberg. You've been tuned in to the Let's Go Crunch podcast, part of the Land Media Group.